Today for our Utah City tours in 5K, we're in Gunnison, Utah, Sanpete County. Gunnison was founded in 1862 and was emerging of two communities on the Sandpitch River, which is right here. Ta-da! Right next to the Sandpitch Dragon, which we'll play some footage for you in a minute. Anyways, good old Brigham Young came down to check out the communities, and since it was kind of swampy and gross, his quote was, "This is too muddy for a hog's wallow," and suggested the communities move up to the bench. Do I know where the original muddy hog's wallow is? No, we're close, but they moved up to the bench. So Gunnison, Utah in 5K. This is the Sandpitch Dragon. I'm not running it right now. We will run through this in just a second. But to give you a better view, since we're parked right here, thought we would capture it. Now the thing about this is they say when cars drive overhead, sounds like a dragon. It's cold down here. That was cool. First takes us on this cool little running trail Gunnison has under the, I already forgot what it's called, the Dragon Pitch?
Sandpitch.
The Sandpitch Dragon? Up a cool little hill to start our run. Always love starting our run going uphill before we're warmed up. Oh yeah. Stacy plans these routes. Maybe I should review them before we go. I'm joking, of course. She does a great job. All the hard work for these, the finding a route, research, all that is done by Stacy. Once again, the real star of the show. Here she is. Couldn't do it without her, because, well, she's the brains behind the operation, and honestly, the beauty. I don't know what I add. Oh, she needed somebody to run more. That's what it was. She didn't want to do all the running. So, that's what I do. I do the running for this channel. She does everything else. This is the running trail, Gunnison, Utah. It's kind of nice when cities have running trails that we can incorporate. I wish the town we lived in had one. The closest we have is the Park Loop. That video here, if you want to see it, it's basically a cemetery, but it's got a running trail. Got the G up on the mountain. Utah likes to mark cities with the first letter of the city name on usually a nearby hill or mountain. A lot of times they have it built by people that hike up there and they, pick the stones up. Once in a while though, like in the case of this one, you can clearly see a road. So I'm guessing they just drove some trucks up there. Still a lot of work to make. They're kind of cool to hike too. Most of them have hiking trails to them. So if you're ever in Utah and you wonder what the letters on the mountains are, they're usually the first letter of the city that sits right below that mountain range, or at least where the letter's at. So not all of them are that way. The majority. Provo, Utah, there's a giant Y on the mountain. Obviously there's no Y in the spelling of Provo, unless I've been spelling it wrong my whole life. That Y stands for BYU. Eventually someday we'll get to Provo and you'll see that. But this one, G for Gunnison. come up on a cool little bridge. Stacy's gonna run on it. I'm a recorder. I'm gonna take the bottom route that looks like it was made for vehicles. Gunnison's got some hills. Not the flattest city. I mean, we live in Utah. That's the expectation. We live in Utah. That's the expectation. But it's always nice when we happen to find one that's flatter than most. This one's got some ups and downs. So anybody that ever comes to run this, or if you live here and you follow our route, be prepared for a few smaller hills. Just under a mile from when we started our tour at the San Pete's Dragon, or San Pete Dragon. Pete's Dragon, huh? This is the original City Hall, and you can see, I guess I didn't have to memorize that. It was created in 1899. This City Hall building originally had the office building on the main floor, the jail in the basement, and the high school on the second floor. So kind of a do-it-all building back then, putting the high school students right above the criminals. It had classes in art, agriculture, PE or phys ed, and I'm sure normal stuff like science, math. Maybe they didn't teach that here. Guessing they did. It has later been turned into an antique shop, and it looks like it's seen better days. But yeah, the original city building in Gunnison, Utah. Up ahead of us, okay, we are coming up on the Casino Theater, or Star Theater. This is the oldest functioning theater in Utah. I believe built in 1912. Yep. Going off memory, Stacy confirms. So, oldest functioning theater in Utah is in Gunnison, Utah. Fun fact about this theater, has a tunnel underneath. They've recently sealed off for safety concerns. The tunnel was there, I don't know where it goes to, but it was created during the Prohibition days to smuggle alcohol. So even Utah, with its religious background, was smuggling alcohol during Prohibition, using old theaters to do it. I'd really like to explore that tunnel. Curiosity side of me, I like stuff like that. But yeah, Casino Theater or Star Theater is Gunnison's local Maverick. For those that once again aren't familiar with Utah, Maverick is like the gas station store in Utah. It's like a Wawa's in Pennsylvania, or they have one in Texas, I can't remember the name of it. Ours is Maverick. Are about a mile and a half, just under, coming up on the Gunnison City Park. So far on our 5K tour, this has all been pretty much uphill. Stacy's looking forward to turning around when we can go downhill. Got a cool little memorial here, Gunnison Valley Memorial, Veterans Memorial. And they got a cool rock wall, which I want to try, but I'm willing to bet I would not actually be able to do it. Climbing's hard when you get older, unless you're a climber. Up here on our left, when we get here, we're coming up on the welcome to Gunnison sign. The interesting fact about this sign is it's been this sign for several decades, so I'm taking that as 30 years plus, but it is due to be demolished this spring and replaced by a new one, according to local news research done by Stacy. So if you're visiting this a few months after this comes out, or let's just say after spring 2024, well, you can look at what the old sign is. Obviously no idea what the new sign is, but we'll have a different sign. We've got a swimming pool up here. I know nothing special about swimming pools. Not every city in Utah has a swimming pool. The ones that are bigger do, obviously, but it's always nice to see one. I like the painting on the side, but we've been to several cities where they expect you to go to the next city or 2 cities down if you want a swimming pool, just due to size. We also got our Gunnison Valley Fire Department, and if I'm quiet for a second, they have a city bell. Just under 2.3 miles in, on our left, we've got the Oldberg Metcalf house. No relation to DK Metcalf, from my understanding. This is made with Uluric limestone, locally sourced from here near the area, and was one of only 10 homes in Gunnison that predate the 1900s, built with locally sourced, and it's one of the only homes, one of only 10 built before 1900, but it was also built with locally sourced stuff, but was ironically built after fabrication patterns and stuff like that were being established. So it follows a prefabrication type system with some locally sourced materials. It was originally built by Oldberg, don't know when dates, sorry, and then bought by the Metcalfs, and that's why it's called the Oldberg Metcalf home. But yeah, locally sourced lyric limestone, I think I'm saying that right. All my rock people, you know, let me know how I'm supposed to say that. Not a geologist. I know some, they're cool. I like the science, I'm just not it. After the house was purchased by Metcalf, Metcalf ran a flour mill out of that house. I don't think it's a flour mill anymore. On our 5K tour, as soon as I watch will tell me, at about 2.6 miles in, and it'll straight onto a little dirt road here. So if you're following along and you're thinking you're lost, this is the way, according to my cartographer up a front. This will lead us back to the running trail to finish our loop of Gunnison. Right here, up this little sand incline. See if I can run up it. Oh boy. And we're back on the Sandpitch River trail with a dip bar. I feel like I should stop and do some dips Not sure if I can do any anymore. So we should be wrapping up in about 0.3 miles at roughly the Dragon. After this, we're gonna hit a local mom and pop diner. I like to feature those. Not every city has one. We do most of these on Sunday because I don't have time. So in the rare cases they do have some, they might be closed. So today's will be Shells. We'll show you some footage there and let you know what we think. And maybe I'll record this part again. So we had to go just slightly past our start point, just basically back under the Dragon and around to the bridge. So anybody's looking at the map that I'll probably put in Strava, that's why, just to get the 3.10 or 5K. Overall, I like this running trail. From what we saw on the other side, there's a lot of workout gear, stuff like that, pull-up bars. So that's kind of cool. I always like when cities do that. Overall, this is Gunnison. Hopefully you enjoyed our tour. If you'd like to run any of these routes, Stacy is including the routes in the diddly below. So feel free if you're in any of these towns or going to be near them, or if you're kind of crazy like us and just driving to do these, feel free. If you have any cool tips or fun facts about a city we haven't been to yet, please let us know. You can reach out. Stacy will include the email in the description that you can reach out to, or you can leave it in the comments. I'm sure to make her job a lot easier on the research end if you guys have that, and we'll try to plot a route on by Shell's drive-through. This is what we're gonna try today. We've never been here before. Menu looks interesting. It's got Mexican, American, fish and chips. That's what I'm getting. So we'll let you know how it is. But yeah, it's just about a quarter of a mile walk from where our 5K tour ended. So join us while we enjoy some Shells as a reward for running 3 miles. We ordered from Shells. The boy got a foot-long chili dog for the cameraman. The editor got a Navajo taco. And me, some good old fish and fries or fish and chips, because I like fish. We just had lunch at Shells, Gunnison. Overall, it was actually really good. So good, Stacy went back and got more fries. Their beer batter fries are delicious, according to her. The meal for all three of us was roughly $20, so good value, good. It was good eats. We would recommend it. If you're in the Gunnison area, whether you're doing a 5K or driving through, or you live here, and you haven't tried Shells, try Shells. So once again, Gunnison, Utah, stay safe, keep pushing, city tour and 5K or slightly less in this case.